Frick. Hello, my black and white brothers. Welcome to my channel. I'm Alpha Anime, and this is What If Deku Was the Son of Tatsumaki and Mob, Part 7. Sorry that I couldn't post yesterday. Just needed a mental break from all that drama. So, me and him made up. I'm still kind of pissed at him. He still thinks that I quit, but you know what? Whatever. I don't care enough to bring anything up about it anymore. If I keep leading this thing on, it's gonna take days. And thank you for commenting on his videos. See, that's what I told you what you should do, and some of y'all did it. Thank you. It annoyed the hell out of him, and that was basically what I wanted to happen. So I thank you for that. So hopefully that the intro I made actually gets in here. I don't know if it's gonna be. It might not. Whatever. So if the intro's here, roll it now. Boom! Hopefully the intro was there. Hopefully it was good. Whether it works or not, all I can do is hope. So this is probably going to be a shorter damn it! Okay, this is probably going to be a shorter video because I'm really tired. It's probably going to be at least 15 minutes. So yeah. So yeah, that's all I really need to know. Where we left off, Deku had just basically been taken control by the anger part of himself. And he was knocked out cold, like no dice. So yeah, after Deku gets knocked out, Kurigiri shows up and just makes a portal under Bakugou, takes him, cause why not? And after that, you know what? It's basically what happens in canon. They start asking him questions about if he wants to become a villain with them, all that jazz. You like jazz? Oh yeah, Deku's asleep. Is like in deep sleep, so he doesn't know this. But everyone starts freaking out, saying, "What the heck? What the frick just happened? That purple portal just come out of nowhere and take one of our classmates?" So yeah, after this, Deku wakes up in the hospital. When Deku wakes up, he sees all his classmates around him saying, "Bro, looks like you have a way to go into that weird black and white form now. Too bad you can't control it. If you could, you'd be a freaking asset. Like, the assets of the asset." It was like, oh, so that did work. They nodded, and they said, "Well, it worked a little bit too well." He said, "What do you mean?" "Well, you kinda almost killed a few of us." Deku says, "I solemnly apologize for that side of me trying to kill my classmates. Sorry if this is super bad today. Damn it! Freaking Discord! I'm really tired. It's hard for me to think. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with this on the fly. Whew, okay, I gotta get back into the game." So after this, Deku looks around and says, "What the frick?" Deku looks around and says, "Hey, where's Explodey Boy?" They say, "Oh, you mean Bakugou?" "Oh yeah, so when you got knocked out, that purple mist that was at the USJ showed up randomly and just took him. Like, bro, was taking like candy from a freaking baby." Deku says, "Well, that's annoying." Wow, okay, you know what? Give me a second. When Deku hears this, he starts looking at himself and says, "Well, you guys do know I'm gonna have to break out and rescue him, right?" They say, "Well, the doctors, not the doctors, the hero's already on it." When Deku said this, like, really? Well, yeah. The hero's already on it, and then he said, well, is my mom and dad gonna be on it? They say, well, we don't know what heroes are gonna be on it. Deku says, well, if my parents are gonna be part of it, they're probably gonna just open, or wherever it is, they're probably just gonna take apart the building, extract Bakugou, and then leave. They say, your parents are powerful. He says, yeah, especially my mom. She has the power to literally absorb my psychic power, which is very annoying when I have to fight her. They look at him like, wait, you have to fight your mom? Deku says, well, it's called training, you know? When he hears this, when they hear this, they're like, yeah, fair enough. So let's cut to all the heroes. Turns out only Mob showed up because Tatsumaki doesn't care enough. He's at like 10% because that boy kind of bullied his kids. So it's like, I don't like that he got kidnapped, but I don't really like the kid either way. So, I don't know how to feel. So since he doesn't know how to feel about it, he just goes in. They hear a knock on the door. The League of Villains hear a knock on the door. They then hear pizza delivery. They say, "Oh, we did order a pizza. Does it have the extra cheese and pepperoni?" The guy behind the door, they open the door and then they see a pizza guy. They say, they hand him a 20 and say, keep the change. The pizza guy says, oh, thanks. He then gets out of there, and then they hear another knock. It's like, KFC delivery. They all look at Toga and they're like, what? KFC is amazing. She walks over to the door and says, coming! She opens the door and is like, hey, All Might. She said, wait, All Might? Boom! Why is this so funny? Damn it, Discord. They open the door. Mob starts taking off the roof, and he removes the roof, saying, "Yeah, the KFC. We took the KFC and gave the guy a 20 to keep the change. So y'all are not getting that KFC anymore." Tomura. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna end this joke right here. They all look pissed, but then Kamui Mutz says, would a prison, I can't remember the name, or chain prison, whatever it's called, I don't really care. Okay, so All Might gets Bakugou out of the handcuffs and says, 100. Take Bakugou out of here. Mob says, will do. He picks up the kid and starts flying away. While he's flying away, all the heroes look back to see Bakugou and all the villains starting to vomit some kind of silverish liquid. When they see this, they also see that they're all instantly teleported somewhere. Mob says, frick! I was just about to save this stupid kid. Now I gotta go fight another boss villain, because I know damn right no one in there has a freaking vomit teleportation quirk, or they would have used it instantly. The hell? Or they would have just teleported themselves into a store, bought the KFC there, and went over here. Okay, I need to stop. So yeah. When they get back, All Might sees All For One, and All For One is like, hello, old friend. All Might jumps at him, and All For One easily catches All Might. But what he doesn't know is that All Might was charging up a kick, and proceeds to kick the living out of All For One. But since I need this to be a challenge to people, I'm gonna give All For One a lot of extra quirks. 1. He can move at the speed of light. Overclock. 2. He has telekinesis, because why not? His telekinesis isn't very strong. It's strong. He can easily lift buildings. And he can absorb energy, any type of energy, whether it be kinetic, fire, lightning, electricity, all that stuff. Any kind of physical energy, he can absorb it. Even like shock absorption as well. You punch him, he can punch 2 times as hard. So when this happens, All Might gets folded. I'm not even going to go into detail, because do I really need to go into detail about why All Might's going to get his... I almost said a bad word. Is going to get his butt mopped all over the ground. Mob jumps at All For One, saying, leave the man alone. He kicks All For One, and now he's kinda pissed. He's at 60. All For One tries to hit Mob with a building. Mob easily blocks it with his telekinesis. After he blocks it, All For One shot an air cannon at him, sending him flying. All For One then overclocked and went at the speed of light. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna let him go at the speed of light. And then he punched Mob to next to ear. Now Mob is pissed. He's at 100. When next All For One tries to hit him, he catches All For One with his one hand and says, "You shouldn't use your powers on others." He uses his telekinesis and starts crushing All For One. All For One then started screaming in pain. Then he used another air cannon, knocking Mob's focus away. Then All For One just started laying on Mob, like light speed punches. He you know what? After like the 8th punch, Mob actually starts feeling the pain because he broke the force field. Because moving at the speed of light ain't no freaking joke, fam. It's no joke. After that, he punches Mob into the ground. Mob gets up and says, "You know what? Everyone evacuate. I'm gonna let it out." When Tatsumaki's watching this from the news, when she hears this, she's like, "Oh frick, about to go down." She gets over there and says, Hold up. Before you use that, I'm gonna just get everybody out of here." She telekinetically grabs everyone and starts dragging them out of there. Even the poor knocked out All Might. So yeah. After that, he says, "Well, I haven't let this monster out in a while. Hope you're ready." All For One isn't showing it, but in his mind is like, "Oh, so he's gonna use that form." I hope y'all know what form I'm talking about. There's a giant flash of light, and he goes into his black and white form. Before All For One can react, Mob punches and kicks him everywhere at once. It sends him flying. He then says, "Building capsule." No, he doesn't say that, but then that's the name of the attack. He grabs multiple buildings and starts sandwiching All For One with them. All For One breaks out and starts trying to lay on Mob, but Mob keeps dodging from side to side. He grabs All For One's face and knees him. He then throws him into the ground. He grabs a giant rock from the ground and starts smashing All For One with it. Like full-on Hulk smash, world breaker freaking Hulk. While this is happening, Shigaraki and the rest of them are fighting with Bakugou so they don't lose him. Deku sees this in the back of while he's watching the news and says, "Well, I better go save the this stupid exploding guy." He then gets out, and then all the class is watching this happen. When he gets up, he says, Yo, you're in the hospital. You're not supposed to be getting up just yet." Deku says, "Yo, I'm fine. I was just knocked out." Deku says, "Well, see you guys later. I'm gonna need to go save that Bakugou." They say, "How are you gonna get there on time?" Deku says, "Well, I'm pretty fast. Like, I'm pretty fast. I'm pretty sure I can get there on time." He head he starts going at the speed of sound, getting there in about 2 minutes, and he sees Bakugou fighting all of them. When Deku sees this, he watches for a few minutes, then Bakugou sees this and says, "What are you doing here, Deku?" Deku is then knocked back into reality, saying, "Oh yeah, I came here to save you." Bakugou says, "I don't need your saving." Deku says, "Well, you're getting it whether you like it or not, so you better stop being salty." He picks up Bakugou and says, "Well, it was nice knowing you villains." He then says, "No, it wasn't." He puts his hand out and starts lifting a giant rock that's under the earth. He then brings it up and sees, and all of the villains are on it. He then says, "Team Rocket blasting off again." Okay, I'm kidding. He throws the rock while everyone is on it, and they just fly away. Kurogiri teleports them to a warehouse where they notice that when they start watching the fight between Mob and All for One. Shigaraki is mad and says, how's the number 2 hero contending with Master?" Now let's cut back to Mob versus All for One. At this point, Mob grabbed All for One's leg and is just throwing him through multiple buildings. She grabs more buildings and starts hitting All for One with it like a freaking baseball. All for One's mask was knocked off, and then right before he's knocked out, Mob zooms over and says, "That's what you get for destroying the city. No, that's what you get for kidnapping a child." He then proceeds to step on All for One. After that, he's back into his normal form and he starts flossing on All for One, saying, what you think was gonna happen? Boy, you don't capture a child and expect people not to be pissed. Get wrecked." He starts L dancing on him, saying, "Loser." He then strikes a freaking T-pose. Okay, I should stop. After he strikes a T-pose, the heroes come over, all that interview stuff happens, and he's upvoted to the number 1 hero because what's his name? All Might was demoted because his hero days are over, seeing that he can't use his quirk anymore. Because All Might used all of his power to try and defeat him, but it didn't go well. So, yeah. Sorry about Discord. It's going AWOL for some reason. So after this, they go back to school, and then they say, "Okay, I think this is when they learn to use they learn special attacks, right?" Yeah. Oh no, they moved into the dorms. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't. The fight between Deku and Bakugou doesn't happen since Deku just saved him. He didn't even do anything much, and plus he has All for One, so the All Might is not focused on Deku. So yeah. Hopefully, this is when they learn how to learn special powers, and I'm not a freaking idiot. So yeah. After this, Mr. Aizawa walks in and says, "Alright, it's time to learn a special move." He then explains the entire thing. Then, when they get there, Deku is kinda lost, because he's like, "Oh, what can I do with my powers that my parents can't, or that my parents don't do?" At the end of the day, Deku gets a spark and is like, "Oh, I have 2 ideas." He goes up to Mr. Aizawa and says, "Hey Mr. Aizawa, can I have a whole city to myself?" Mr. Aizawa says, why? Deku says, I have an idea for my special attack. Well, two. Mr. Aizawa says, well, can the class watch if you're gonna need a whole city? Deku says, sure. So when this happens, all the kids gather up at the security room, and Deku goes onto the city. They say, alright, use one of the special moves you're talking about. If it truly is as powerful as you think, tomorrow you can use the second one. Deku says, will do, sir. Deku says, well, I'll use my most powerful one first. Deku then pulls out a gun. They say, yo, what the? When Deku get a gun? Everyone looks at Deku and is like, oh no. Is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do? Oh, to clarify, y'all know what it's gonna do, but Deku doesn't need this to do it, but you know what, nah. Yeah, I'm not gonna let him do it. He doesn't pull out a gun, scratch that. So Deku flies up and they just see him put his hands up and they say meteor, and they hear him say meteor shower. He then brings his hand down and everyone's like, well, that was anticlimactic. Deku says, wait a second. They then see a giant flash of light as they see multiple giant rocks, each the size of buildings, start falling from the sky. And it just, they're like, what? And it just levels the whole frickin' city. And Deku made sure that he got small ones so he doesn't accidentally do anything too rash. When all the dust is settled and they see Deku, he says, well, was that destructive enough for a special move? Everyone says, yup, that's good enough for me. Deku says, oh, but I didn't get to use my second one yet. Here, let me show you. They all said, no, tomorrow. He says, oh, fine. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Sorry if this video is shorter than usual. Oh, no, it's 21 minutes. Oh, scratch that. So, yeah. Stay safe, stay cool, and wear a seatbelt.